Hey everyone. So I just wanted to share a solution to a problem that I had come across just yesterday when developing this Excel spreadsheet for a student council activity at my school. So as you can see here at the top, it's for our Easter event, and what we had was students taking pictures of student council members wearing bunny ears, and then they would send that to the Instagram or post it on their stories, and then that counted as an entry. So I've hidden the names here just to preserve their privacy, but you can see all the other data that is actually relevant. So the problem I'd actually come across was having to then pick the winner out of some kind of a probability, like a spinner or some kind of a dice roller. And the reason for that was because different entries differentiated the probability that we were dealing with, right? So it wasn't a case of you have four participants and so everyone has a 25% chance. It's relative and subjective to the person and the number of entries they have. So this was the first time I've come across a problem like this just because I've never done something like this before. But I just thought that the solution I came up with would be a valuable one for those who didn't weren't able to think of it or weren't able to find a program that does this. So as you can see here, I just had my B column be the number of entries per person, and then I actually worked on the D column before the C column, but it really doesn't make a difference. So the D column is an expanded decimal probability column, and that's just part of the table. Essentially what it is it takes the number of entries and then divides it by the total number of entries, including the number of entries by the participant that the row is in. So what this shows you is their probability of winning, essentially. If I was to put their name on, give them a 1.61% chance as it suggests here, and then roll it. So then from there I converted that to a percentage, a condensed percentage probability, and this was kind of just for viewing pleasure. It's not really relevant to actually figuring out how you can determine a winner from this. So from there, I then made something, a column that I called the accumulative decimal probability, which is just a range index, right? And the reason I did that was just so that I can use a dice roller, which I have made here, and that's just using the command or formula, I guess you'd call it, equal rand and then bracket open bracket close. And what that does is it creates a value between 0 and 1. And I think you can probably, yeah, you can add more decimals to the end of it, but I just stopped it at whatever, like 9 decimals. So it's really just a, oh, that's, yeah, that might be 10. Yeah, at 10, so I just stopped it at 10 decimals. And it's just because the probability wasn't that wide, but really what ends up happening is you'll want to have the starting value right here at E2. You'll want to have the starting entry have the initial expanded decimal probability, but then your second probability will be an addition of the probability above that. And the reason for that is because you end up creating a range index. So this range index is thankfully between 0 and 1. And you can probably tell where I'm going with this. If your range index is 0 to 1, and your dice roller with the random formula will give you a value that is from 0 to 1 in many decimals. And as you can see here, we need many decimals to be able to differentiate because some people have 0.32% 0.32% chance of winning. What we end up being able to do is set up a range. So for example, this one right here says the first roll is 0.686111, and then it goes on. And the reason, just for context, that we have 3 rollers is because we needed 3 winners. So that's just why we have 3 rollers there, but or 3 die, I should say. But yeah, the first roll gives us a 0.68. So the nice thing as well is that the accumulative decimal probability column is in order, obviously, because you're summing numbers. So 0.686 it was. So a 0.686 tells us that it will be this contestant here that will be winning the chocolate prize in our case, but would be winning the prize or would be winning the selection of the die because their entries are in the range of 0.672 and 0.688. And so this is just a simple solution, but I don't know. I don't feel like it's one that you would be able to think of intuitively. But knowing that the randomizer creates a number between 0 and 1, and knowing that your range index, if you assemble it in this format, will be between 0 and 1, you can very quickly set this up and be able to have your very own probability picker with adjustable percentages. So it's just a quick video, just wanted to show that off. And if you have any questions, leave it in the comments. Thanks.